stand by.
Hypno-disc. Sadly, twin brother Derek couldn't be here today. There's Ken and Dave on the left.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Controls of Evil Weevil, Michael Walsh. What a likeable but earnest young man he is. Serious? Has to be. Hypno-disc is deadly. Evil Weevil, stay out of trouble, I would. And maybe try and lift with those front spikes. Oh no! Michael, get away from the CPZ. Well done. Well, just deflecting a blow of Hypno-disc. This is interesting because if the weapon doesn't cause damage from Hypno-disc, what else does that spinning robot have? Mind you, it does have the disc, and look at that! Causing problems for Evil Weevil. Something flew off the shell of Evil Weevil. Good battle here. Kevin Pritchard's now taking the controls of the Beetle. That's an interesting development. And I wonder if he's trying to get those blood-tipped spikes in underneath Hypno-disc. Got quite a high ground clearance, you know, 23 millimeters. And maybe Evil Weevil can get in underneath. That's what Kevin thinks. Holding the controls high to get a clean, crisp signal out to the Beetle. But it's Hypno-disc on the attack. Something flies off again. Hypno-disc pushing Evil Weevil. Oh, slamming and lifting it. And then, don't forget, kill a lot of weights in the CPZ. Evil Weevil dangerously close. Do not back towards the CPZ. That could be the end of the Beetle. Kevin Pritchard gets your machine up and away from that area. Is there a problem with the controls, I wonder? They can't get a clean run away, and it's Hypno-disc on the attack. Inexorably pushing Evil Weevil towards Killalot in the Lance. Good driving here by the Roses. And Evil Weevil. Well, a rose between 2 thorns, 3 thorns. Shunt, Dead Metal, Killalot. All in on the kill of Evil Weevil, immobilized in the CPZ. You do not want to be in there, Kevin Pritchard. And boys, that's what happens when you let the teacher take over.
Well,
very quick, up to 20 miles an hour, Hypno-disc powered by 3 motors, hugely destructive. The 750 RPM spinning discs. Let's see how they do it. Pure test of driving skills, of course. So you won't see the disc in action this time.
2, 1. Activate.
Taking on the barrels, first of all. 5, 10, 15, 20 points already notched up. Easy to score with the barrels. There's Shunt. Darting that target. They're in behind Shunt. This is good driving. Point scored there on the target. Now racing across to the other barrels. Oh, I don't think they got any. They need to just have another nudge. This is an intelligent run here by Dave, Derek and Ken Rose. Avoiding the pit. Oh, attempting to get up and over the bridge. They've got to have a complete run to score the points there. 20 points, but it was a brave effort. Now the multi-ball release. You nudge that buffer and release the balls, you get 10 points. And there they go. For each of those balls knocked into the pit, another 5 points. Running into Dead Metal, ill-advised. Cease. Steady but not spectacular from Hypno-disc.
Stand by. 3.
Thermidor, and certainly Hypno-disc would be the favourites for this, but look for Pussycat as well, immediately on the attack on Arnold A. Also Splinter underneath Arnold A. There's Hypno-disc backing away, crunching on an Exterminator. There's Exterminator with a big blade being pushed around there by Thermidor. Arnold A again under pressure from Pussycat. Pussycat spins away to have a go this time at Splinter. Splinter in on the frame as well. Hypno-disc backs away. This is Thermidor. Hypno-disc thrown up on the top of Exterminator there, and Hypno-disc taking pressure from Pussycat. They're all off to Hypno-disc. Early on, there's Arnold A with the axe coming down on Hypno-disc. It's Bash-a-disc. That's the game here. Look at this. They're all off to Hypno-disc. There it flies up first of all, comes down, there's the axe going in on Arnold A. Pussycat involved as well. Thermidor trying to get the grips. Hypno-disc right in the middle. Thermidor's being pushed away to the CPZ. That's a good drive there by Splinter. Thermidor immobilised. They need to get going very, very quick. But you want to wait to the top of the screen there. Arnold A coming in now on Exterminator. This is a very good display by Arnold A. Exterminator on the top of Hypno-disc too. Hypno-disc, have they been immobilised? Brutalised by the sheer force of enmity by the rest of the arena. Hypno-disc is going nowhere at this moment in time. Being pursued by Exterminator and Splinter. Very good display by the Splinter team here. Crashing and bashing, taking on Exterminator. Hypno-disc and the Rose Boys drive away, but it's Thermidor. He's being broiled. Well, that is a major surprise for me, and Hypno-disc cannot get any space there to have a run and get the, the blade into action. Poor old Thermidor never got going at all. And for me, the surprise of the show so far. Here's Splinter, bottom of your screen, and there, Arnold A. They've been brilliant. That was one of my favourites. What's happened to my lobster? Oh, dear. The world's your lobster? It ain't. You're just a fraud in our game, I'm afraid. And Hypno-disc has done little better. Another attack on Hypno-disc by Exterminator. The ref box indicate Thermidor off. I think they're as surprised as I am. And there's our first faller in this Annihilator. And the others survive, but only just. And they... Here they go again then. Immediately you've got Exterminator there, bottom of your pitch. Oh, Hypno-disc has got away. They've learned to stay out of trouble perhaps after that first bruising duster. And Pussycat's in a little bit of trouble. Exterminator tries a side-on collision with Hypno-disc. This is Pussycat and Splinter. We've seen very little of the cat. They're currently rating one of the best two robots in the country. They're keeping out of this a little bit. And Splinter Boys again in the thick of things. Here's Arnold A2 bringing the axe down in devastating style. Pussycat slams on the Splinters. Bulldoze, bucket, scoop and bounce away. Exterminator again trying to rock and roll against Hypno-disc. That's Splinter taking on Pussycat and charging him into the corner. And Arnold A doing Batman Pussycat thrust into the corner this time by Splinter, and in comes Bash. Look at this, it's a good drive by Splinter. Pushing Pussycat into that corner. Pussycat's blade was turning, but no damage was being caused. And Bash is in there, and they're all trying to have a go now at Pussycat. And someone has released the arena pit button. It's starting to descend, and someone's going to go down there any moment now. The Splinter Boys have once again been very, very impressive. Hypno-disc this time has stayed out of trouble, and everyone seems to have wanted to go at Pussycat, but now, again, Hypno-disc is under pressure from Arnold A. Gets away, side slam on Exterminator. Little damage again caused to Hypno-disc. Oh, look at that from Arnold A, the great, powerful axe. And Hypno-disc thinking, well, I better get into the thrust of the action here, just in case it goes to a judge's decision, because I haven't done a lot, and Exterminator's axe was extended and took a long, long time to come back down. I thought they might have been in trouble. They're okay. Pussycat in the middle there as well. Splinter has been magnificent in this Annihilator so far, and Arnold A. And Hypno-disc now has been plucked by Sergeant Bash, and the claws. The disc hasn't rotated at all, Hypno-disc. Twice as powerful as in the last series, they told us, but here in Extreme, it has just not got going. In-game, Exterminator with a little nudge on Bash as well, and then the axe down on Hypno-disc. And the Rose Boys, Derek and Dave, who's the driver of the machine, simply have not got moving. That's Pussycat being slammed onto the arena sidewall by Splinter. There's Arnold A with the glaring eyes, and Hypno-disc trying to get away again from trouble. Arnold A slamming into the sidewall and trying to axe our angle grinders. Unwise. Plenty of movement out there again. Pussycat trying to get in behind Splinter, and Splinter's pal, it seems to me, Arnold A is seeking retribution. The Splinter team have been very consistent with Stuart Wakeman and his son Craig, the driver. Pussycat just to swing over the top of the picture again, all the pressure on Hypno-disc. Can they respond? There once again in the middle here, and under enormous pressure as is Pussycat. It really is take on the favourites, isn't it? And let's all have a disco. That's what they want out there, Exterminator and Splinter. And Exterminator has got a claw onto the disc itself. It may have punctured the disc and therefore be able to lift it up in a way. They certainly seem to have impaled their axe there. Exterminator on the top of Hypno-disc. Now they're free and can get away. This goes to a judge's. I think Hypno-disc will be in real trouble. Mind you, our Exterminator moving? Our Exterminator moving? Are they immobilised now? Is there a problem here for the Exterminator team? There are problems for Exterminator. In goes the red bot. They're being counted out here, Exterminator. After so much promise, Marlon Pritchard is being counted out. That's a disappointment. And the second of our robots has fallen in the Annihilator. It's Exterminator this time. They've gone. Which means, of course, kill a lot, and the others can have their fun. Oh, extra punishment for Exterminator, no! Slightly in the wrong place. The ref bot checks. And we wait for the green light. There it goes. And the robot's in action immediately. Pussycat more aggressive at the start of this one, it seems. Straight in on the side of Arnold A. Terminator. In the pits, we heard how much damage they were sustaining. Splinter, ooh, the arm nearly got caught by the Pussycat blade there. Hypno-disc is again fairly immobile. They lack some sort of motory power in all of this, I'm sure. Splinter seems a little bit cagey. Pussycat slammed away there by Arnold A. Terminator. Hypno-disc is going nowhere. There goes the arena buzzer. There goes the release button. It was Splinter releasing the pit. Down goes the pit. I think the roses know. Look at the faces. They know they're going down. So, we're about to lose our second favourite here for the Annihilator. Terminal went very early on and Hypno-disc are about to go now. They're on the lip. They won't survive. And it was the cat. Oh, and it's just afterwards.
Stand by.
And the house robots shunt with the axe, the scoop, the pushing power. And nasty, niggly, bad-tempered Matilda with a total lack of self-control. Hypno-disc coming from the left with the spinning disc, the darker features of Nasty Warrior. R.I.P. Rest in pieces, I think it's gonna be. The roses mean to bloom. Look at this. Already, shards being ripped away from the extreme team from Karlsruhe. The Nasty Warrior machine. Oh dear, is taking terrible punishment. Carbon? It's made of carbon. Have a look at underneath there. There's balsa wood, I'm sure. Carbon? Bit of plastic here. Bit of sellotape there. There's not going to be much left of it, I wouldn't have thought. Hypno-disc again slams in. Another slice. It's been ripped to shreds. The German hope. Sad to see. Of course it is. Jan and Marco and Norman Tate. A jet of steam under Hypno-disc. Dances away. It's mesmerising. It's hypnotic, isn't it, if you stare at it long enough? The Germans come back on the attack. But tentatively so. I think they're just trying to stay out of trouble, to be honest. And it will be the Union Jack hoisted high over this battle. Nasty Warrior trying to stay out of trouble, really. Took 9 months and roughly £300 to build Nasty Warrior with the lawnmower blade. We haven't even seen it yet, really. Being dragged across the arena floor by Hypno-disc, but is Hypno-disc now conked out? What's happened to Hypno-disc? Is it still manoeuvrable? Is it out of reach of Matilda? Is this going to be a stunning surprise? Is this going to be a German victory after all? The Rose of England is fading from its early bloom. It's getting some damage in late on, but I don't think it's moving a great deal. And had Nasty Warrior had any sort of weaponry at all, we might have had a shock here. Look at that, flapping around like a tongue. A piece of Nasty Warrior. What is that on the floor? Some part of the German machine. The disc's moving okay, but the ref body's unhappy because Hypno-disc is not being manoeuvred over the war zone floor and is being counted out. Nasty Warrior is still alive, and what a surprise! Hypno-disc is out, and the Germans win it. And Firestorm, bashed up and bruised. Graham and Alex and Hazel. Thumbs up says we're ready for Sir Killalot to enter the arena with the claws and the lance. And Matilda as well. Tusks and the flywheel.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, third place in Robot Wars, that's not bad. And they want this. Firestorm on the Hypno-disc. Hypno-disc backing away. No conservative approach here from Hypno-disc. They're going to go gung-ho for it, retreating to draw Firestorm on. Is the Firestorm flipper working? Can they get underneath Hypno-disc's 20mm ground clearance? They're driving, aren't they? They're pursuing straight into Sir Killalot's belly. Sir Killalot looks stunned. No one has ever attacked him like that before. Firestorm presses the pit release. Down it goes. This is fast and frantic and frenetic, isn't it? Firestorm onto the side of Hypno-disc again. Across the arena and up to 12 miles an hour, they've both gone down. Work that one out.
2, 1, activate.
Want to see the barbarous weaponry here? Look at it. Churning. Granny's Revenge right in the middle. Granny's Revenge 2, I should say. There wasn't a great deal of the original Granny's Revenge machine left from the last wars. It's all good fun, isn't it? Sergeant Batch is in there with a lick of flame. Barbarous is to give close attention to poor old Granny. And in comes Sergeant Bash again. Hypno-disc is behind. There's Barbarous now. Is it a truly controlled weapon? Using the cloth there to snag other weaponry. 4x4 has snagged the Barbarous 2 machinery, but I'm not too sure what damage is caused Barbarous 2 there. The cloth from 4x4. And something's come off there. It is just the cloth from Barbarous 2. So 4x4's big plan to snag up anything hasn't really worked. But Barbarous 2 has been attacked by Hypno-disc. Granny's Revenge 2 is about to be counted out. She's smoking already. Granny, don't smoke, it's bad for your health. Hypno-disc on the attack on 4x4, which has done nothing. Boys from Dublin, if your best hope was a bit of cloth, dear oh dear. Granny's Revenge is on its way out. Poor old Granny is counted out. The team from Reading, Trevor Andrew, and his sons Philip and Ben, they're the ones who put Granny in, not us. We're seeing the ref cam there. To me, Hypno-disc is the only one still moving. Granny's on fire. Barbarous 2 has been shunted by Hypno-disc, but I think they're immobile as well. 4x4, there's nothing there, so which was the robot last standing of those three to go through with Hypno-disc? Poor old Granny's underneath the drop zone, it's a cooker! Hypno-disc has spun and won, we know that! The ultimate smash to smithereens, Granny's Revenge 2. This is a cooker. Like the one back at home in your kitchen, think of the weight, slam. Nothing left of you, ma'am. And I'm being told that it's Barbarous who survived the longer to go through with Hypno-disc. So Barbarous have gone through with Hypno-disc. Poor old Granny, there's nothing left of you. As Cease is finally called. Matilda's in the arena for the House Robots. And they're dead metal with the spinning blade. Serrated and awful.
3, 2, 1, activate.
A real grudge match here. The classic spinning weapon against the classic flipper. Hypno-disc forces Bulldog Breed away after surviving an initial onslaught from the dock, and again, its spinning weapon, the disc actually carrying it away from the final flipper thrust. And that's what's happening at the moment. And I also think that the Hypno-disc spinning weapon has caused damage to Bulldog Breed, and I'm not too sure whether the flipper's working. It is. It's okay. For a minute there, I thought Bulldog Breed's weaponry had been rendered inactive. They're in trouble, though, aren't they? And it was from that first real attack from Hypno-disc, and Bulldog Breed is fighting a rear guard action here against Dead Metal, trying to get the flipper to thrust away Dead Metal. Tony Summerfield, an engineer by trade, loves his classical music, loves a little bit of peace and quiet from the classics, but his machine has suffered some damage out there, and it is crying a mechanical cry of woe. And this battle is almost over, I would suggest. It was that huge thrust by Hypno-disc, the weapon spinning at 900 RPM and weighing 20 kilos, that was so destructive. Another side slam as Bulldog Breed is counted out, and Hypno-disc move forward into yet another heat final.
Cease.
Bulldog Breed had to get it over early. And
3, 2, 1, activate.
A single blow from Hypno-disc can destroy anything. It hasn't got great pushing power. If Barbarous 2 can get in there and nudge it back, has the one spin of the disc not Barbarous still? Is that what it would take to get through the plastic armory and destroy Barbarous? I think they've succeeded, Hypno-disc. The drum is quietening, is stopping, has stopped, is being tattered. Plastic against metal. Hate to say we told you so, but we told you so. And there, the scars of war. Hypno-disc, not as impressive as the last series. Are we sure? Down goes the pit. Barbarous 2, a long, lengthy barber's pole, gradually nudged into submission. And the pit, one wheel hangs limply to one side. The ref bot comes in for a look. Well, they've done brilliantly to get through this far. I love the innovative design of it. I hope they come back with a stronger robot. But the basic principle seems sound to me. What do you think? For this Robot Wars, the campaign is over for Barbarous 2. And a very good machine goes through. Look at the scars in the plastic. But the debate over Hypno-disc will continue. As Shunt gets rid of Barbarous 2. Is Hypno-disc stronger?
The Psycho, always ready to grumble and rumble.
So Hypno-disc with a spinning blade, Tornado with the push. The winner automatically through to round 2. The loser will have another chance. The 3 losers go into a melee to claim a second round place in this, the series' second semi-final. Hypno-disc backs away, comes slamming forward onto Tornado with a slight bulldozer front blade. Tornado, interchangeable weaponry, don't forget. And Hypno-disc is in trouble on the arena sidewalk. It is so destructive, but it has that Achilles heel, Hypno-disc. It can be pushed around, it can be bullied, and Tornado is doing all the bullying so far. One of the most persistent little dogged nuisances in that arena we have ever seen, Tornado. And Hypno-disc is in massive trouble here. Tornado once again is whipping up a storm. Ramming and ramming and ramming again. Hypno-disc tries to get away. Up to 10-mile-an-hour top speeds, both these machines evenly matched there. Hypno-disc slightly the heavier. Away now, onto the side angle grinder, wants to stay out of trouble. I think Tornado was trying, yes indeed, and succeeding to release the pit. Down goes the pit and descending. Tornado tries a mighty shove on Hypno-disc again. Brilliantly controlled Tornado. Andrew Marchand, the captain, driving. David Gamble in control of the electronics. Brian Moss, the weaponry. Hypno-disc under the controls of Dave Rose, a mechanical engineer who loves his astronomy. But the stars here are favouring Tornado. I would have thought, oh goodness me, they went too clear. Oh goodness me, they went too near that yawning gap twice. Tornado, almost then, causing its own downfall. Some battle this. You never can know with Tornado, with that unreliable drivetrain, when it's going to back up, but it's in underneath Hypno-disc near the arena sidewall. Go on, shove it out. Hypno-disc, stay on in there though, and go on, give it a slice, which we know is twice as nice on Robot Wars from that mighty spinning disc. There you can see the Tornado boys all of a sudden concerned they can't get this over and done with, as they thought. You just seen there Ken Rose, a retired engineer, loves his classic cars. Ken, he won't be happy that the Hypno-disc chassis is being sliced up by the angle grinders and bumped and bashed by Tornado, who comes in again. Seats is called, it goes to the judges. In the arena for the house robots, we like to keep him in there, is Mr. Psycho and Sir Killalot, the 2 heavyweights.
3, 2, 1.
3 robots, Only one survives this loser's melee. Well, Spawn again are quickly into the action, so maybe they've made repairs. And once again, they're trying to eliminate Hypno-disc. The two flippers ganging up on the Rose boys here. Now, let's see if that Rose family team has a little bit of a thorny attitude to come back. A bigger brother and Spawn again. Spinning away, Hypno-disc bashing and crashing, and I wonder if they've just knocked themselves into submission there. Hypno-disc, yeah, you've just seen there the sign of reluctant submission. As they smashed against the arena sidewalls, something went in the controls, and they are out, Hypno-disc. They are immobile. Only one of these two will survive now. Bigger brother and Spawn again. Hypno-disc, you've gone. Go on, Sekiro, toss him out, do something with him nasty. So strong in previous Robot Wars, they'll have to make modifications on Hypno-disc. Ooh, now what's happened there to Bigger Brother and Spawn again? They're wedged together, piggyback style. Bigger Brother in underneath there. The flipper of Spawn again. We're seeing Hypno-disc being officially counted out by the ref bot. Spawn again is still moving. Bigger Brother has activated the pit release, and Spawn again got a flip in. Bigger Brother is reeling. Spawn again in flipping. Have they jarred the mechanism? That 1 meter long flipper wide open. If so, Bigger Brother can take advantage and does. And Spawn again are teetering on the edge of oblivion. The Hypno-disc boys cheer, but the biggest cheer is for the Bigger Brother team. They go through, and we'll say bye-bye to Spawn again. Bigger Brother 12s into night, and they continue through to meet Terahertz in round 2 of this semi-final. What's going to happen to Hypno-disc? Pit, 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 they cry. Hey! Bashing and a crashing, and down they come. Almost a nod of approval there, as if to say, well, we know that our machine has run its course and we need to make huge changes to Hypno-disc, a brave battler of yore. For you, we have the Sergeant. Attention for the flamethrower, please. And straining at the leash, Growler.
3, 2, 1.
Don't forget, 2 robots will survive this melee to go through to the All-Stars Heat 2 second round. Oh, Hypno-disc up and over from Spawn against Flipper, but retreating to come again. Dominator 2 goes after the Hypno-disc blade with the mighty sharpened weaponry. Remember, I told you can only attack using that weapon if an opponent is directly in front of them. And you see Hypno-disc was quick to get out of the way there of the Dominator 2 machine. At the controls, Peter Halloway. A side-on slam. Dominator 2 against the arena sidewall. Comes back-to-back with Hypno-disc. We're not seeing great destructive force unleashed. Well, the blade has done nothing to Hypno-disc's spinning weapon. Just glanced off it. Nothing at all. So we know that Hypno-disc can survive against Dominator 2 unless it's flipped, maybe. Like that. Toppling, but down and okay. Dominator certainly seems to want to take on Hypno-disc. Spawn again. Wisely keeping out of trouble thus far. Having the odd flip or two. Hypno-disc in the middle. Can they get their weaponry spinning up to full velocity? Because that is key to me. It doesn't seem to be working at full strength. The blade has stopped. Hypno-disc in trouble again. When the blade isn't at 100%, we know Hypno-disc is very vulnerable. We've seen that in the past. They've stopped. Dominator 2 fighting it out with Spawn again. Well, the Rose boys look very, very worried. Dave and Derek, both engineers by trade. The ref one has to look. Hypno-disc is over now. They're in great peril. I don't think they'll be able to self-right. They're being counted out. The axe of Dominator 2 isn't making great purchase, to be honest. That'll be a worry for later on in the competition. For the Dominator team, Hypno-disc, they're out. They've gone. No longer in this competition, then, to be considered an all-star. Growler has them in its jaws. with the skid steer system very quick across the arena floor. Oh. How about that for a push? Down the pit, the Hypno-disc. If he lets go, dog with a bone and all that. Hypno-disc KO, disappointingly so. With the lifting tusks.
And there's Mr. Psycho with the claw, the hammer, and a very bad attitude. Out of breath.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Watch for Dan Tonkier with the first assault there on S.M.I.D.S.Y. S.M.I.D.S.Y low centre of gravity, but a 1.5 centimetre ground clearance. Could prove vulnerable. Look at Hypno-disc. Under pressure from Dan Tonkier immediately. And Hypno-disc slammed into the CBZ. 3 times UK Championship Grand Finalist, but in all sorts of trouble. Gone. Out. In the CBZ, under pressure from Dan Tonkier, Mr. Psycho came in, had a look. Dan Tonkier flew in for a second attack, and out they went out of the arena. Hypno-disc gone. Their chance of fighting for the challenge belt is over. 2 machines survive this opening melee. Down goes the pit of oblivion. Dan Tonkier needs to get away from Mr. Psycho. Could literally crush it in that CBZ. What can we see of Sir Crowley and S.M.I.D.S.Y? Nothing much, because Dan Tonkier is having all the trouble from Mr. Psycho. Get out of there. Don't try and take on Mr. Psycho. He has a long reach and an even longer memory. S.M.I.D.S.Y's, for a minute, right underneath that hammer, I thought. Sir Crowley, very good steering here by Steve Merrill and Ray Tate. Basically what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is running away. They're just running away from trouble, trying to keep out of trouble. It may well serve them well in the future. S.M.I.D.S.Y's under pressure and flipped by Dan Tonkier with a full bottle pressure flipper. Can act as a powerful spinner as well. S.M.I.D.S.Y, well, meeting a sandwich there from Dan Tonkier and Sir Crowley. Some nifty work by Sir Crowley until Dan Tonkier flicks it over. Self-righted though, that's basically an American truck wheel hub you're seeing there. 25mm thick alloy shell on Sir Crowley. They are a stylish and fun team. Great competitors as well, Steve Merrill and Ray Tate. We love them, really. Boy, heck. Now, his machine is out there, Sir Crowley. Dan Tonkier is pushing it away across the arena floor. S.M.I.D.S.Y living dangerously, flirting with the floor flipper, which is easy to say unless you've been out for a night on the tiles with Steve Merrill and Ray Tate. Well, nothing's easy to say. S.M.I.D.S.Y in the CPZ is overturned. Mr. Psycho looks on. What is that flailing chain on Sir Crowley? I'm not sure. What is that all about? Is that a weapon? Is that something that they wear down the nightclubs of South Ockenden in Essex? I'm not too sure. They've been overturned in the corner. S.M.I.D.S.Y's flung up in the air. There goes Matilda on those bling-bling boys from Essex. The Sir Crowley Steel boys. They're out! Matilda caught them with a flywheel bottom, which is rather a grisly thought for anyone. In they go, and Sir Crowley tossed away like some loose leaf in the autumn fall, and they've gone. So we're left with 2 machines to fight on. S.M.I.D.S.Y and Dan Tonkier. There's the fallen knight of the realm, Sir Crowley. They've arrived in the war zone by helicopter and plane in the past, and limousine, Sir Crowley, and they'll leave, well, in a trash can, really. Dan Tonkier and S.M.I.D.S.Y's cease is called Fight On. The Rose Boys go. And also the Sir Crowley team there on the right.